Hello everyone, welcome back to Scrapping Scotland. Apologies, I haven't done a video in a little while, and that is because I have been on holiday. So I've been away to Tenerife with my daughter, 2 sons and my wife. I actually have another daughter as well, but she has her own family. She's all grown up, so she wasn't with us. But a good 10 days away, and I have to say I did miss not being in the shed scrapping. Away to relax, love being away on holiday with the family, but I do also enjoy being in the shed scrapping, so it's good to be back, it's good to be out and doing something. Now, I have done most of the kind of stuff that was lying around the shed. There's still other things, and I'm actually waiting on some other stuff coming in. I've still got to do the TVs, all the kind of monitors that I took all the stands off of. I've got a couple of little other items, got some PCs to take apart in terms of towers, and some little bits and bobs here and there. So I got something new yesterday, which I've never seen one before. I've never been involved in anything, you know, in terms of what this thing does, so I haven't seen one. And it was given to me by a person who I regularly get pickups off of, so thank you Kirsty for giving me this item. So I'm always trying to bring new items to you guys, show you something different when it comes to scrapping things out. So I did come across something that, again, that I haven't scrapped out before, so I thought I would share it with you. And what it is a stone polisher. So these are like if you've got little stones and, you know, you polish them up to make them look nice. And this is the base unit of that polisher. So if you can imagine, you'd have a big kind of cylinder that would sit on top here. This would rotate, and it would rotate the drum. There's things inside the drum that then polish the stones that you put inside with it as well. So I don't actually have the other piece, I don't have the drum that sits on top, but I do have the base unit. Okay, now what I'm expecting in here is very little, to be honest. I'm hoping it's got a nice little motor in it, because it does have to continuously drive the barrel. It looks like it's variable speed, so I'm not expecting it to be a synchronous motor. So hopefully it's a nice big motor. It may not be, you know, a motor's a motor. So what we'll do is we'll take off these pieces. These pieces at the end here, they're quite heavy, but they're not stainless steel, unfortunately. They're just normal steel. I think the outer case is cast aluminium. And then inside, as I say, I'm hoping for a motor. And maybe even a transformer. So, you know, there's only one way to find out, guys. There's nothing to it but to do it. So I will lower it so you can see. Apologies again for the messy bench, but you guys know already, it's always a messy bench. And we'll take these pieces off first. Take out the rod. Now, as I said, all these pieces are magnetic, so not stainless there. So they just go into our steel shred. We'll take off the drive belt, which was crumbling anyway. And then these other ones at the top, they appear to be held on. I think they're kind of like screwed in. So I will see if we've got a little bit that we can use to get those screws out. Okay, so we've got a little hexagonal bit. Can't really focus on that very well. I think that should fit it. As you can see, it's just a little screw bit that goes in there. We can take that piece off. Same on the other side. A little piece. A couple of little washers that are aluminium. Okay, so next thing I do with these things, well with this one, 'cause not these things, I've never done them before. The next things I would do would be to pull off the knobs now. Okay, by doing that, we'll have revealed a couple of screws. Okay, so that's all the screws out of the front plate, and at the bottom it looks like it's just 4 screws that's holding on the base on. Now hopefully we turn it upside down, it should just drop out. There's our first look inside. So the surrounding here definitely is cast aluminium. We do actually have a synchronous motor. I didn't think it was going to be a synchronous motor, but it must mean that there's limited variable speed. It looks like it's actually very similar to the ones you get in microwaves. We do have a transformer, and in here we do have a motor. It looks like a piece this side has got a bit of brass in it as well. The kind of dial switch. Okay. We'll remove the switch from the front plate, process that later. Now the front plate's off, we've got a few more screws. Okay, I've got a little kind of bridge transistor here that we want to just unscrew. Next thing for us to release is going to be these little nuts here. That was just the top piece from the motor. Need to get that off so we can actually pull it through. And that is aluminium. Okay, that's our motor released now from the unit. As you can see, there's a couple of bolts this side keeping it in, and a couple that side. They're just keeping it inside this kind of cover. So we need to get that off. There's a screw here to take out. It's just a plastic screw. There's one on the other side as well. And that actually has released the tiny little brushes from the motor. Okay, next thing is now to undo the bolts. Nice and easy. The top ones, couple of turns with the pliers, and then I was able to use the fingers. Seems to be the same with the bottom bolts. Okay, so that's all the kind of screws and stuff out of it. Now probably just need to give it a little bit of gentle persuasion to see if we can open it up. Okay. So to do that, give it the actual screws at the top, just a bit of a tap. Okay, top case off. It's magnetic, so it's just shred steel. So I'm taking that top bit off. We've got another couple of bolts again to release this motor. And the screws get to the top, the bolts, sorry, get to the top and then they stop. Don't seem to come further. So I am just going to stick this in the vise to get a grip on it and then see if we can undo these bolts further. Okay, so there's a little board and a couple of little copper cases for the brushes on top there. And hopefully we can now just push these rods through. Doesn't seem to want to do that though. Which would tell me there's something else blocking it, whether that be another bolt on the other side or not. Maybe they have to be actually unscrewed, but they don't seem to be catching, so that doesn't seem to be the issue. So what I want to do now is just try and get this case off this piece. So we've left it loose in the vise so I can just kind of bash it through. Okay. So you can see the vise. So stick a hole punch in here and try and bash it out. Just like that. Okay, and there's our bottom casing into the shred. There's our two rods that we're keeping it in. Magnetic as well, so stainless, just normal steel. And there's our little copper bearing motor. Okay. And there's our other piece as well. Okay, so that now leaves us with the transformer and the synchronous motor and the little switches that are in here as well. So transformer out first. That's what you call dropping the drill. Okay, so with the transformer, we'll just take the outer casing off. This outer casing is just steel as well. And there's our transformer for processing. It's one of these ones where you have to take off each individual fin because if you can see at the side they're interlocked. So a little bit more time consuming, a little bit more work, but that's fine. That's for our transformer. And then what we're left with is the synchronous motor and its switches. Okay, so that's our synchronous motor. That will have a spool of copper inside it. If you want to see a synchronous motor taken apart, then check out my other videos. There is a video in there of me taking apart synchronous motors. As I say, you mostly find synchronous motors in things that just have a continuous movement. It's not a speed variable. So you find them a lot in microwaves because microwaves just have the plate spinning at a continuous rate. And therefore it's a synchronous motor that controls that. Okay, there's our two electrical switches. They have brass and silver contacts inside them. And this is our synchronous motor. Okay, so I'll bust it open and show you anyway. Just need to give it a little tap on the side and the bottom plate will come off. Okay, so a little tap opens it up, as you can see. You can now get a screwdriver in there and just pop it off. Like that. Okay, so that's just steel. You do have some cogs for the movement inside. Usually do have a little bit of oil on them, so just be aware of that. The inside plate off. And then inside here is your copper spool. And as you can see, it's wound around that I'll try and give you an idea how thick it is. So peel back there. I mean, it's not the biggest bit of copper, but it's copper, yeah? So, and easy to get to. Okay, so that's your synchronous motor. And then obviously our big piece of cast. It needs to be cleaned up because we do have these pieces in here and they will be magnetic. So they need to be punched out. Okay, there's one out. Has a rubber external seal, and then all the little ball bearings and everything inside are all steel. So take the rubber off and stick the rest in the steel shred. Seems easier popping them out from the inside out. And there we go, there's our clean piece of cast aluminium. Now it's clean. Okay guys, so as you saw, we've got the big piece of cast aluminium there. We've got our motors that you can either put into copper bearing motors or you can scrap the copper out of them. I scrapped the copper out of them. We have our little synchronous motor copper spool. We've got some switches here, so you can see on these switches right on the end where my finger is, you can see there's a couple of silver contacts. So little switches there. On this piece there's a big bit of brass, but I'm going to leave that just now. We're going to scrap that. I've got lots of these little things to take apart, things very similar to this, so I'll maybe do a little session on doing them all at one time. But for now guys, that was taking apart the stone polisher. So hope you enjoyed that one. Again, something new, something I haven't done before, and always love to do stuff that I haven't done before, so I hope you guys enjoyed that one as well. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then please do that guys. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications bell as well so you know when the next video drops, and please do me a big favour and like the video as well. That does a lot for the video itself in terms of getting shared out to the YouTube community. So again, thank you for watching. You've been watching the Scottish Scrapper on Scrapping Scotland. Appreciate your tuning in, and we will see you on the next video. Goodbye for now.